Subscribe to the Mystic Vibrations Shock of the Hour program today and never miss another episode. The Shock of the Hour is a Radio Anu exclusive program produced every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. By now, I am sure that you are aware that all our programs are packed with information, inspiration, mystic vibrations, as well as hot button topics. Every evening we enter into a different dimension, even if it is a part 2 of the previous program, whether it's history or mystery, biology or philosophy, domestic affairs or the locks of your hair. The mystic vibration is sure to bring something new and interesting to the table every evening. So never miss another episode again. Subscribe to the Shock of the Hour now. And don't forget your key Swahili word of the day and your daily scientific fact. So, to subscribe, give us an email, priestisaac27@gmail.com, or call or WhatsApp us today. Area code 1268-728-3162. The Shock of the Hour. Never miss another program. And a special note to all our new subscribers. All our new subscribers will receive a special copy of the DVD documentary, full length, The Night of the Black Tiger, The Divinity of Marcus Messiah. Greetings to each and every one. Blessed love. Of course, we are thankful that you could join us again for another edition of what is now the Shock of the Hour. Thanks are still in the realms of the mystic vibration, giving it to you in different levels, different angles. I'm thankful again for all those who have partook of such a program and the episodes that have been coming towards you, and taking in the information and of course the inspiration as well. This evening, as I promised, I am going to look at the situation in regards to the reparation that is supposedly will be paid to the University of the West Indies. I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to go straight into it. This is coming from the Nation News. www.nationnews.com, and it says here, headline: University of the West Indies to receive millions in reparation payments. And it is straight out of Barbados and Kingston. University of Glasgow in the United Kingdom has agreed to pay £200 million in reparation payments to the University of the West Indies. This was disclosed by Vice Chancellor of the University of the West Indies, Sir Hilary Beckles, during a recent interview on the Jamaican News Network JNN program Insight. Beckles, who recently returned from the UK, said the University of Glasgow recognized that Jamaican slave owners had adopted the University of Glasgow as their university of choice, and that £200 million of value was extracted from Jamaica and the Caribbean. That's a very square figure, isn't it? Well, we're just rounding it off. Yes, I'm sure we are. He said, while in the UK, the Vice Chancellor of the UK-based university, Professor Sir Anton Muscatelli, opened up their records and showed a massive influx of grants and endowments from Jamaica. He said added to the University of Glasgow and the University of the West Indies are currently drafting, pardon me again, he said added the University of Glasgow and the University of the West Indies are currently drafting a memorandum of understanding, and the term reparatory justice is expected to be included. The £200 million would be combined, or a combination of cash and kind. Kind of what? Cash and kind, you know it means. So it's literal finance, money, and basically assistance really in establishing other things. But let's see. We are not on the street corners asking for handouts. We are looking for partnership and development. One of the projects in which the University of Glasgow has reportedly shown interest involves research in chronic diseases in the Caribbean, including hypertension, diabetes, and childhood obesity. They are looking at the possibility of partnering with us and having a massive institute for chronic disease research that is going to prevent the proliferation of these diseases in the future, says Beckles. All right, let me just see that here. We're going to continue. In fact, no, let me just continue. A report dubbed Slavery, Abolition and the University of Glasgow, published recently by the university, reveals that it benefited directly from the slave trade in Africa and the Caribbean in the 18th and 19th century to the tune of almost £200 million in today's money, you know, as far as the value, when you look at the value of it then and the value of it now. The university has announced that it has launched a wide-ranging and ambitious, pardon me, just please forgive me, the confuser, you know how it is. The computer, I should say. It is doing what it felt to do just a moment ago, and now it's still doing it, yeah. The university has announced that it has launched a wide-ranging and ambitious reparative justice program that is based on the findings of more than 2 years of research. In addition, the University of Glasgow has also announced that it intends to implement programs and projects that will provide scholarships and exchange programs for Jamaican and other Caribbean students through its link with the University of the West Indies, CMC. Now, okay, so fair enough, so that's it there. This is, you know, is this sort of subject area, these sort of things that the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards even himself would pay very close attention to. The Honorable Beckles, Sir Beckles, is saying that they are looking, now he's speaking of the university, because even before I say that, Beckles was saying previously here, we are not on the street corners asking for handouts. We are looking for partnerships and development. And then it goes on, not him, but the article goes on to say, one of the projects in which the University of Glasgow has reportedly shown interest involves research in chronic diseases in the Caribbean, including hypertension, diabetes, and childhood obesity. And then Brother Beckles goes on to say, they are looking at the possibility of partnering with us and having a massive institute for chronic disease research that is going to prevent the proliferation of these diseases in the future. Now, that aspect of this report that we are just reading here from is something that interests me personally, because there's certain things. Now, first of all, as it relates to reparation, this would already have covered the globe and seen from all angles, well, from most angles, as a victory, a first victory in this long war, you know, because there are battles within the war. So this may be a battle that we, the Africans and the descendants of Africa, primarily the descendants of Africa, at least in the Caribbean, have won this leg of, you know, the war. Because we now, as Caribbean people, we will be receiving in cash and kind the sum total of 200 million pounds from a specific university. So as when we did the program, when we did the 3-part series on reparations about a month ago, we did that? Yeah, about a month ago. We did a 3-part series on reparations. And what we did, we showed you how, although many of us use the term reparations, and even the fight and the political fight at that for the reparations, not just the spiritual, because there is a spiritual fight for it, but for the political aspect of it, it is something that should be united, but yet still it is distinct within certain corners. As I said, the United States, the black people in the US, they're seeking strong reparations from their direct government. In many cases, it doesn't go even beyond that. While in Jamaica now, that move is strong, seeking reparations directly from the Jamaican government. Those that were colonialized by the French seeking reparations from France. Those that were colonialized by the British and Spain doing the same. Rhymes, doesn't it? That sounds like a rap. But I'm just showing you that that's, you know, somewhat so there, the unity now, that unified call for this one unified reparations. It does not really, is not something that many people even consider or even entertain, because they would say that there's not this one unified enemy as such, that one unified former colonializer, if you prefer to use that term. But in reality, you know, when they met at the Berlin conference, they were united there. You see, this is what we are missing. We're just checking what's going on stage. As President Botha says, behind the curtains, we are all the same. We're all one. We only do this in front of the world. This is what I'm saying. This is just the reality of it. So as I said, even when we did that documentary, or that 3-part episode directly dealing with reparations, we showed you now how mystic it is that it can be seen in different separate parts. So here we have now that a university, this is just one university. This is one university, for whatever reason, taking it upon themselves. Listen to this good, you got to understand. This is one university, which is located in England. This is one British university that is taking it upon themselves to give the sum of 200 million pounds to the University of the West Indies. And at the same time, they are acknowledging that this is the approximate amount that they extracted from Jamaica and the Caribbean. This is the university, to the point that they have begun a rigorous program, ambitious, I should say, according to the words they use, directly dealing with reparative justice, a reparative justice program. And they are looking into more information. They're putting in more than two more years in research to find all that they can find as it relates to their part in the enslavement of the Caribbean people, or the African people really, that were turned into Caribbean people, Jamaicans and all sorts of other things. Good. Just hold my brothers. I know I'm sounding groovy here. I am a little groovy as such, so give thanks to the groovy vibes. Ayahuasca in the house. Yay. Yes, I give thanks. So I'm just saying, you know, this is where I'm coming from. So they're looking at the possibility. Now, even before that, again, one of the projects with the University of Glasgow has reportedly shown interest involves research in chronic diseases in the Caribbean, including hypertension, diabetes, and childhood obesity. Now, you see, I don't know, you know, Brother Hilary Beckles, Sir Beckles, is an extremely intelligent man. Extremely intelligent man. Trust me, extremely intelligent, and has done a lot of research as it relates to this subject area. I've heard people try to, you know, diss him and them man bow. You know, you hear all the kind of talking and you think, oh, he's sir, how he comes sir? If you're fighting for reparation, how he's a sir and sir this. And people say all sorts of things. Listen, I cannot say. Me personally, I would do without the sir. You can hold the sir, trust me. I mean, I say it now, and as we said in the old days, my word is my bond. It's all right. Yeah. So I'm just showing you that the brother has done enough works in that whole fight for reparations. Yet still I must say that we as a people on a whole, we have become so numb to the reality of what has happened to us. Plus, I think even more than that, we've become extremely numb to the reality of what is going on now. So hypertension, diabetes, and child obesity. Listen, I definitely not saying that I'm anything more than anybody else. But trust me, you don't need no partnership from the University of Glasgow to really know what's going on with diabetes, hypertension, and child obesity. Because when I was a so-called child, brother, there was a fat girl in the class. Now, half the class is fat. So within just a few decades, things have changed tremendously. So it doesn't, as they say, take a brain surgeon or a rocket scientist to just, you know, trace your steps back. You know, check what's on the table and if it's on the table and when you go to the table and how you go to the table, man, it's a cultural vibe. That's why I know reparation begins with us. Repairing the nation begins with us. And it has to do with the edification of our children, ourselves, our children, and the generations to come. Edification within an educational system. And it's sad, even those of us who live in these countries that are supposedly run by black people, not knowing that even those in the countries like the US and England who consider themselves conscious, they look up to us because we actually run our country, supposedly. Yet still we don't even have our history in the schools, much less anything about Africa. So what are you talking about? That has a lot to do with diabetes and hypertension, brother, whether you like it or not. Because we are cut off from who we are from day one. If you're going to take the baby away from the mother at 3 months because she got to go back to work, at least teach the baby the right thing. You got to, you know what I mean? Mary had a little lamb. Mary had my foot. What are you talking about? Yeah? So I'm saying here that because we are so numb, so let's just suppose, they didn't say this, but let's suppose they said, okay, the university or any university wants to put some money, we're going to give you $10 million in reparation. I'm just drawing a picture here. Eh? We're going to give you $10 million in reparation. Yeah, because we stole $10 million from you before. All right, so we're giving you back. And what we want to do as well, we want to give you an extra 5 so we could assist. Well, that's another thing. I don't know if it's an extra money they're giving to work along with the Jamaican people or the university as far as this research that they want to do, or if the money they're giving back that they stole, they still want them to use it in a specific way. I don't know, because it's cash and kind, you know, money and services. You see what's going on here? So I would believe they're giving us what belongs to us. We don't want no help, and then put in some money and then assist us in whatever else they are planning to assist us in. I'm not sure, but anyway, back to my example. So this university, not necessarily Glasgow, but this university gives you $10 million and said, well, listen, man, we stole 10 from you. All right, and here's an extra 5. What we want you to do with this extra 5? Yeah, we want to set up a lab to do some research. Yeah. We want to research, how we can stop AIDS. How we can bring it down more in the society. Now, if we were not so numb, we would know that that's a plot. We would know that he's bluffing, because we know AIDS ain't got nothing to do with what they're trying to make us believe, and condoms and family planning. And if we were not that numb, we would understand our history. We would understand the whole family planning stuff is eugenics. If we were not that numb, we would know that the reports of AIDS and the monkey and the green monkey is all a lie, and Maryland and the lab is something to look into. If we were not that numb, we would know that AIDS is part of the biological warfare that's going on in the earth, along with Ebola and some of them other stuff. If we were not that numb, if we were not that twinkle, twinkle, little star, and Santa Claus is coming to town, and happy Thanksgiving. This is what the system, the culture, vulture culture, and the educational drop out the bucket system that they give us, do to us. It numbs us. So now another puppet character can come and talk about, let me read it directly from here now. One of the projects in which the University of Glasgow has reportedly showed interest involves research in chronic diseases in the Caribbean, including hypertension, diabetes, and childhood obesity. And Brother Beckles goes on to say they are looking at the possibility of partnering with us. Let me tell you. And having that's how we ended up in this position, man. Partnering with these people, Before we did just kill them when they came on shore. You may say, oh, that's harsh. What do you mean that's harsh? What's wrong with you? You mean to tell me if when these killers came on shore and we gave the order to cut their throats, and somebody said, hey, you can't cut their throats, we don't know why they came, and we say, hey, you keep quiet, and then we cut their throats, we didn't even punish him, we just went and killed them all. What are you trying to tell me? That would be wrong to do that? What we did was prevent the worst Holocaust ever, you know, man. I'm talking about the transatlantic slave trade. They will cut you down and say that's hate speech, you know. That's hate speech there. Yeah, the worst atrocity to come upon anybody was that Atlantic trade triangle business. Yeah. Pardon the fluency of the grammar, but just the vibes. So, if we did murder them when they stepped on shore, what you want to say? Something wrong with that? Who you? Who is you? You got to be, who is you? We should have killed them. We shouldn't even wait to hear them say hello. Yeah, straight up, I don't see nothing wrong with that. History have already showed what not doing that caused. So what's wrong in doing that? It's definitely much less bloodshed than what was shed eventually, much less. Not even a drop in the bucket to what they shed, because we kind of were a bit passive when they stepped on shore. That's how I look at it. So that's how I think, and I think very differently. Maybe you think some other way, but you know. So they're looking at, this is Brother Beckles speaking. They're looking at the possibility of partnering with us and having a massive institute for chronic disease. You're right, they're planning to have a massive institute for chronic disease. I don't doubt that at all. I do not doubt that at all. If that's what you said, Breckle, oh man, pardon me, please forgive me. Beckles, that was believe me, that's a pure mistake of the tongue. I would never disrespect the brother. Eh? Believe me, I'm very clear. I would never disrespect the brother. It's just the tongue there. Brother Hillary Beckles. Yes. Oh my, I didn't mean to say it like that, because I respect the man. So much so that the point just left me there, but I know it will come back. But I respect the man. Yeah, straight up. Yeah. But if that is what Brother Beckles said exactly, well, I agree. Because they're looking at the possibility of partnering with us and having a massive institute for chronic disease. Yeah, straight up. But anyway, it goes on to say research. You see, what I'm saying here is, you have to understand, just like how we say, what they call the court? The criminal justice court. The criminal justice court. Now tell me, I mean, you just have to think. You got to think some of these words they give you. Institute for Chronic Disease Research. What are you going to search for? Chronic disease. Man, we know what's going on. That is going to prevent the proliferation of these diseases in the future. Brother, them is the same people that put the chicken pox or the smallpox, man, in the blankets. These are the same people at the Tuskegee Institute, another institute, that said they were going to give us this and give us that, but we can handle it, don't worry. And we had nothing else to do but worry, because they gave us syphilis. Hundreds of us. Same set of people in the institute, same kind of people there. And then come in and say they want to research it and see what's wrong. And you may be saying that, oh my priest, you're very pessimistic, You know, my priest, you need to drop your guard a little bit. You need to be a little more optimistic. So what do you want them to do? You say you want reparation. Now you get reparation. You're still saying this and saying that. I ain't really saying this and saying that. I'm just looking at the reality of it. And it's not that I don't see and believe in reparation, and a part of the fight for it. But I don't think you can honestly say you hear me say, I want reparation, brother. King Emmanuel speak. In fact, King Emmanuel don't even speak of reparation, He speaks of repatriation. That alone, whatever they will so-called eventually give the descendants of the former slaves, believe me, it would not even worth as much money or finance as it would take for them to not reparate now, but repatriate all the Africans in this world that want to return to their motherland without, not just a ticket, you know, man. It's more than that, you know, without harassment, without any form of friction. And if it's necessary, some level of back check must be done and files dug up as much as possible if can be done, where one can be more homed in closer to their place of origin, or place of origin of mother and father, and of course mother and father's place of origin may be somewhere else, but at least to have the knowledge of who you are, which may assist in your return. There should be no blockage for none of these things. They can be worked out. It can be worked out, and compensation to a high degree obviously must come with all of that. It can be worked out. Look at our family in Africa now opening the gates and telling us next year we're looking to see you come in. It can be worked out. To me, that's more value of reparation than any other thing, and building any institute to research chronic disease. What are you talking about? We just wasting time with you there, man. We know how the chronic disease come. We know who are the disease carriers. We know who never washed the skin. We know who say that they were the cleanest person in the continent. That's what our elders taught us. That's what the history books say. Queen Elizabeth says she's the clean. She washes her skin once a year. Queen Elizabeth. Imagine the first, by the way, I'm talking about. That's a good one. Yeah, Queen Elizabeth I. Not me, says no, man. So yeah, washes. In fact, to be honest, when I hear them things, although I've read it myself, and you know, noted scholars, and it's not just us alone saying that, it's known. You know, but even to be very honest, even up to today, when I read that and hear that, I still say to myself, anything can go so. Nothing can go so. That nothing can go so. Anybody can wash their skin once a year. I don't believe that. To be honest, I still have problem like somebody stretch that somehow. No, honestly, I feel that in my heart. Somebody stretch that. I cannot see you wash your skin once a year as a queen. So all these paintings we see well dressed and all, you mean to tell me you didn't take a bath since 200 days ago? Nothing goes on. And you're the cleanest person amongst the flock? That don't make no sense. No. All you put in all this sweet perfume, because that's where perfume come from. You know, they say they put on perfume to hide the scent. You understand? This is what it said. That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying all that to say, man, the so-called black plague and the death plague and all them plague. We understand, and the lifestyle and the culture and a specific way of eating, and we understand, and your industrial world that has turned many a people into zombies and robots, that their whole system is not even aligned with nature anymore, and their whole lifestyle and sexual lifestyle and recreation lifestyle, recreation lifestyle, and abusive lifestyle, and all the bad habits that they hold on to because it has been programmed through so many different things. So I mean, for you if you're giving me reparations, let us just do it properly. That's the point. So I personally, I am not one to jump for joy when someone says, because even here in Antigua, many of our activists, when they speak, you hear them say about reparations, they say what the college needs to do, not this specific college, but the other colleges, because it's not just them alone. We don't even start to call universities and colleges yet. But they should give us scholarship, free scholarship, you know, to maybe 100 students to come to Oxford. And then, yeah, that to them that's reparation. Now tell me, I mean, trust me. Trust me. You crazy. To me, listen, as you know, I would not discourage no one to attend the university of their choice, whether they go there or whether it's online, and receive whatever merits that they give you for the level that you have attained in the university. So if you listen to me speak, you would understand that. So it's not that at all. But to me, in my world, it's because I'm in your world, you know. So we're dealing with your world stuff. But in my world, that ain't really of no value. That ain't of no value. That's almost like wasting my time. So if you want to give me reparations, give me reparations. And if you want to throw in a scholarship or two to come to one of your university, if I got the time, well, I can work with that. Straight up. But don't give me that. And act as if that's the reparation. I cannot work with that. Nah, man, what do they do at Oxford? They train people to be servants of Oxford. Internationally. That's what it is. And the training starts from you know what I mean, ABC, man. The training starts from ABC all the way to E squared MC squared business. That's how it goes. And they train you to be robots for the elite. You better believe it. Whether you like it or not. I know that's the truth. I know that's the truth. So giving me not diplomas, what do you call this stuff? Scholarship to come to the same Masonic building that's built in a way, especially the old universities. They may kind of do it a little differently now because we're in the modern age, so they added this and added that, so it doesn't look like the old days. But even the way we build buildings today have their own Masonic touch to it. But we got to go into some of these old temples of rituals where blood has been drunk out of skulls to learn the science you stole from us, while you still have it hidden in the back and we can't even touch it with our hands, and you're not giving us back what belonged to Tutankhamun, and we're supposed to say, well, we've been given reparatory justice. Nah, that's not how I look at it. So I don't jump at these things. I just have to say it and just be very clear, you know, and coming to work with us and building institutes to see how we can stop teenage pregnancy and all of that No, man, there are many other ways. Even if we're not dealing with reparation, and even if we're not dealing with repatriation, if these universities and different institutions that have a say really want to assist us, the money is good. But let's just suppose money was not involved. That's how powerful the truth is. That's to show you that this is just a game. Because them same people that forking up the 200 million pounds. I said forking up. F-O-R-K, just in case. I don't know how it sounded. It sounded a way coming there, you know. You will say, oh, what's this? Okay, please. Yeah, it's all right. But honestly, I don't speak them words. It's straight up. I got my own reason to. I believe, but that's the next subject I've gone into today, but I don't, you know. But when I said it, it kind of sounded, yeah. But them is the one digging up then. That's what forking up means. Anyway, them is the one digging up 200 million pounds. You understand? They're digging it up. Yeah, that's nice. Dig it up and give it away. That's good. But that to me, that ain't no reparations. That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. And that's all you rob from us. So who else you rob? What are you talking about? Now you ain't saying nothing. if we're serious about these diseases and hypertension and all of that, where else did you have a stake to build your university? Did you steal anything from Congo? Do you have any interest in the Congo right now? Some of them cocoa and chocolate that coming out of West Africa and Ivory Coast, some of these same chocolate that turn into these sweets, and I'm not going to call any brands, but you know they melt in your mouth and not in your hand and all of that. Some of these same sweets and this and that is what's causing hypertension and diabetes. These same chocolate that you are still gaining from the resources of an African country that you have exploited hundreds of years ago. Yeah, so when they're paying off Jamaica on one hand, they're still sucking out the Congo on the other hand. It's just reality and misusing and abusing the Ivory Coast and even Ghana on the other hand. Because although a lot of what is taking place on the ground in Africa, when you even watch some of these documentaries, those of you who visit the motherland and see it face to face, and those of you who have a direct connection, and those of you who live there, you would understand that yes, it appears as if it's quote unquote black on black crime. As black people may be kidnapping black people to carry them, black children primarily, to carry them to the border so that they can go into the other country as like some child slave and be picking what you call the thing, cocoa, and picking and digging out diamonds, and all these things happen on a daily level. It's happening as I'm speaking to you now. But the point is, at the apex of that pyramid is some of them universities. Oh, come on, how dare you say that? Me, the university itself say, we robbed you of $200 million, pounds, a few years ago. We just want to pay it back. So I ain't lying on them, it's the truth. So how many other universities that have not stepped up yet have robbed other people of some 200 million pounds, and I'm sure more, yet to be paid back? Let's get real. Let's be real. And it is these institutions plus the industrial corporations of the world, even insurance companies and banks, that have built themselves off of the 200 million pounds that they've robbed. I'm just using that as a term, plus the millions of pounds they're still robbing, especially from the motherland herself, her minerals and her resources. So we can't be pretending in this reparation vibes. I'm happy you want to come and build an institute so that we can research the Aedes aegypti mosquito and Ebola. That is so nice. Believe me, that is nice. But how the world running now, we ain't got no time for that. In my book, you're wasting time. Trust me, some of them mosquitoes, you know where they come from. You're wasting. That's reparation. For us to research the mosquito that killing our people around here, you know where the mosquito come from. Don't tell me you don't know. Don't tell me you don't know. You're all a part of the same club. You're all a part of the same club. You share secrets. See the computer know. You share secrets in the dark. And come out here talking about you want to research diabetes. As if you don't know what the bag of chips does. And the oil that you have on the shelf. You see them oils? Outside of olive oil and coconut oil. All them oils you see there, and all them oils. I don't mean, you know, the natural, maybe one almond oil and these different oils. There are many oils, obviously. Let's not be foolish. There's so many oils. But when I say the oils, I'm talking the cooking oils. You don't really try and cook with some of these oils, you know, but they're oils designed for cooking. Even the olive oil is kind of too strong for the frying thing that we like to do, you know. The coconut oil should be the oil to fry. You don't have to worry. Believe me. The natural coconut oil too, not that processed kind of stuff. You see it? But the oils now, so outside of them oils there, sunflower, you know, these oils are used for other things, basically even for the skin and to be ingested, just, you know, just in a raw form, not to be cooked, because they don't work well when you cook them. Palm oil, you know, you don't work well when you, and when I say cook, I mean fry, because you can put them in different things, your stew, your salad, all of these different oils. They carry their own flavor, their own taste, nice, you know. So, but they have oils designed for frying food and even for mixing and baking and all of that. And these oils, them oils, the soya bean oil and the so-called vegetable oil, which vegetable give you oil? And they have the nerve to have lettuce and tomato and carrots on the bottle, knowing that they're playing with your mind with the vegetable oil foolishness, you know what I mean? Making you think as if the oil come from these vegetables. Just give me a listen. What I'm telling you, eh? These oils will clog your artery in a day. Some of us, we don't understand, man. We want to know where hypertension and diabetes and child obesity come from. Ask the colonel. He may have the answer. Ask the clown. He may have the answer too. You see, this is what I'm saying. What's wrong? When Tyrone Hayes came out and said that Syngenta, the herbicide, is turning males into females from his own research. That's another university, Berkeley, California. What, nobody know about that? Hello? Nobody know about that? We don't need no help from no killer who done rob us to come and try to pretend they're helping us to find the problems or the solution for these problems. Michael Hayes, not Michael Hayes, Tyrone Hayes already tell us what the herbicide is doing to black children, especially in the third world and in the ghettos of the United States. He made that clear. So we don't need no help from somebody that owes us millions of pounds, hundreds of millions of pounds to try to pretend they're paying us back and they're going to give us a little hand to figure out a problem when we don't know where the problem come from. You and the herbicide maker, I'm sure you go to the same club, not because you're over there and they're over here, you're all over the place. I'm sure you're affiliated in some way, or if you're not, you're affiliated to someone that's affiliated to them, because they're all up there in the pyramid, aren't you? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Have you ever had a word with them? Why not send them an email and ask them, so what's going on with you and Tyrone Hayes? Because we're paying back some black people some money here. We can't live like this anymore. We're giving these Negroes back their money. And we see you shuffling and driving with the Negroes now, and you know that you're sending the food into their community and down to the Caribbean and turning boys into girls. We stopping that now. We here at the University of Glasgow, we are finished with that. What are you doing, Syngenta? Huh? What happened? Why is Tyrone Hayes running for his life? Why are you sending him death threats? If you don't stop it, I'm going to speak out against you. That's what I'm looking for. If you can't do all of that, this is a joke, man. Because if you do that, you ain't got to come and build no lab with us to figure out why the boys are turning into girls. This is what I'm saying. Hey, look, I know I'm a bit different. I'm not going to apologize, but say no. I'm not sorry that I am. Like the word sorry is still trying to come out. But I'm sorry if that's the way. If you look at it like, man, you too radical. I'm sorry you look at it that way, but I ain't sorry for what I am. That ain't radical. What's radical about that? You want to hear radical? You don't know radical, yeah? Man, if I radical, there would be no talking at all. Yeah. So that's not radical. That's just realistic. So when I hear, first of all, when I heard this news, the moment I heard $200 million pounds, I said 200 million pounds. What do they think this is? What is 200 million pounds? What on earth is 200 million pounds? Listen, What is 200 million pounds? I ain't gonna tell you my business, but I know I don't have nothing to hide. But I don't have 200 million pounds. I don't. But in the world of economics and finance and industry, many people are worth 200 million pounds. And I personally not only don't see nothing wrong with it, in the growth of life and the liberation of your people. What are you talking about? What's wrong with having 200 million pounds? The point I'm making is that a one man can have 200 million pounds. I can have 200 million pounds on my way up to 500 million pounds. They have billionaires in the world, you know. They have several billionaires. They have several billionaires in the world. In the world, all around the world. They lose 200 million pounds in a day. In a day. What is 200 million pounds? That's all you got from us? And what about the what you call the stuff there? The interest. What about the interest? What are you talking about? Listen, boss. Repatriation. And even those that don't want to go, it's their business. But it can be done. In the olden days, more would go than now. It can be done. And you see people look at it straight and say, oh, go back to Africa and Africa. Blah, blah, blah. This is more than that. If they're really willing to cough up the hundreds of millions, this can be done properly. Really done properly. Not just on this end, but on the other end. Really set away. Because they got to pass enough things, man. Land, resources, industry. We got to work with the Idi Amin plan too. I don't care what you say. You can say what you want. But we got to look at the blueprint of Idi Amin. We got to look at the blueprint of Haile Selassie. We got to look at the blueprint of the great leaders and understand their vision for Africa. The blueprint of Marcus Garvey. If we're doing it this way, we're done looking at the blueprint of King Emmanuel. Because reparation is a nice thing, but repatriation, that's what the Black Prize push. And you have to see it holistically on a high diplomatic and geopolitical level as a nation. Enough resources and land there in Africa, these wicked people just stifling us and numbing us from the time we come out of our mother's womb. That's the main thing they do. Make sure they catch you from jumping out of that belly. That's the main thing. From they catch you there, you're done with. Even when you come conscious, they're still spinning around. If I say Noah's Ark, we still see this picture. If I say Adam and Eve, we still see this picture. If we say Moses, no matter how conscious it be, you still see the fella that act the movie there. What's his name there? Humphrey Bogart or whatever. I can't remember his name. With his hand up in the air and the water parted. Wow. Charleston Hudson, or Hudson, whatever. Free waterway, 7 or 9 miles of Black Star Liner ship, up the River Nile. Now at this moment and hour, almost the 10th of December, Human Rights Day, freedom of movement, freedom of traveling. Yeah, if you know your Bible and you do not know your history, the knowledge of your Bible will become a mystery. You don't know. You have to be careful with them 200 million pounds, brother, because it takes some real eyes in a man. Got to be looking to realize the man and notice the real lies that them people perpetrating on us, a fraud that are amongst us. King Emmanuel VII. Adonia God, Jah Rastafari, blessed.
Subscribe to the Mystic Vibrations Shock of the Hour program today and never miss another episode.
The Shock of the Hour is a Radio Anu exclusive program produced every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. By now, I am sure that you are aware that all our programs are packed with information, inspiration, mystic vibrations, as well as hot button topics. Every evening we enter into a different dimension, even if it is a part 2 of the previous program, whether it's history or mystery, biology or philosophy, domestic affairs or the locks of your hair. The mystic vibration is sure to bring something new and interesting to the table every evening. So never miss another episode again. Subscribe to the Shock of the Hour now. And don't forget your key Swahili word of the day and your daily scientific fact. So, to subscribe, give us an email, priestisaac27@gmail.com, or call or WhatsApp us today. Area code 1268-728-3162. The Shock of the Hour. Never miss another program. And a special note to all our new subscribers. All our new subscribers will receive a special copy of the DVD documentary, full length, The Night of the Black Tiger, The Divinity of Marcus Messiah God.
Alafia to each and every one. Salamta and blessed love. Honorable Priest Isaac here. It is with great joy that I am happy to announce to you that I have officially released my first ebook, Anu Ancient and Modern Revisited. This is the continuation process of our easy-to-read books. Within the pages of Anu Ancient and Modern Revisited, we take the time to show you the spiritual connection with the island of Antigua and Heliopolis in Kemet in Egypt, with the island of Antigua and the legendary continent of Atlantis. We also highlight Green Castle Hill, also known as Mount Anu, which is known as the Stonehenge of the Caribbean, with the countless of megaliths that align with the movement of the heavens. This is a must-read for all those who are students of the esoteric realms, astronomy, geology, and ancient sites. Of course, to get a copy of your book, all you have to do is to contact us at area code 1268-728-3162. Call, text, or even WhatsApp. Or you can email us at priestisaac27@gmail.com to get a copy of your ebook, Anu Ancient and Modern. It is an easy to read book. It may appear light, but it is extremely heavy.